My profane friends, literally I'm on the other side of the on this side of the park. Look, and here's, you know, what I did before, look, with the old obelisks, yeah, as above so below obelisks in the little you know. But anyway, I've come over here and look, what an amazing, it's just amazing how they're getting away with it. Look at the keystone, look, the 3 keystones, which is the sun hieroglyph. You've got your Masonic arch, the firmament, then you got your jackin and your boas, and right on top you got your pyramid. And again, look, 1, 2, 3. So we've now got another gang of Freakmasons, and each one of these again is a different design, look, because they've got the keystones on either side of these flat, whatever they are supposed to be. But again, I can't read Freakmasonry. I didn't get educated in it enough. But if I go in, look, even the internals, look, right? I love it. It's the bowling club, look. That's, you know, then that's the bowling club, look. St. Rolocks, the St. Bollocks Rolling Club. St. Bollocks Bowling Club, yeah. And again, look, you've got their heraldry, look, and it was founded in 1857. And I'll guarantee you, every fucking member in that bowling club is Masonic and a Freakmason, yeah. You go there, they'll oust you out because you're not a brother. You know what I mean? You won't be welcome in that bowling club if you're profane, I promise you that. You know what I mean? But this is all like, you know, this is, you know, the competition, best close competition. Oh, this is the best close, whatever this is. So, but again, look, 1, 2, 3. See? Again, more gang signs by the Freakmasons that this turf and this territory and this province and this block is owned by the Freakmasons. Do you know what I mean? And they're all getting benefits and payments from it. You imagine how many payments they've had from all of these profane people and how much wealth they're getting every week or every month. Is anything going back? Doesn't look like anything is going back with all this, look, all this shite on the floor, look. Does it look like anything is going back into anything? No, they rely on you to pay it to do their roads and everything else. See what I mean? You start changing the rules. I mean, now what tells me this is Masonic? Let me think. Right? Now, obviously it's got the square. Look, you can see that there, yeah? Look. Can you see it? But it's not just a square. It has, right, the Knights Templar cross there. You see it? Look, yeah? Okay, and it was built in 1908, okay, look, yeah, 1908, and it's got a DB there, look, DB, right, which is obviously a Freakmason, because when I come back here, right, when I come back here, I hope I'll keep trying not to put my finger over there, right, I'll be some Freakmason. You got the 3 points, look, 1, 2, 3 points below, yeah, can you see that, the 3 points, look, you see? They never do the north. Remember, God resides in the north, so they always do the west, the east and the south, yeah? And on each side of that symbolism, the DB, you see the 3, look? 3 and 3 for 33 degree, okay? But what makes me think, or could this possibly be, making this belong to the Freakmasons, yeah? Let's do it nice and slow, my profane friends, nice and slow, you know what I mean? What could possibly make me think this is Masonic? Could it be something to do with these 3 circles? 1, 2, 3. That makes a square. I wonder. And then the original windows, if we go a bit closer, can you see it? Look. See that if I come out, obviously it's a square in the campus, but you've got your 4 diamonds. Look. See, in each corner. 4 square, innit? You know what it is. Same as that window, if they're the originals, but they've been taken out, or is this the originals with the fleur de pisse? But them 3 circles there denote that this is Masonically owned. You see? 3 circles make a fucking square. You know what I mean? And then with this window here, with the big circle, and the 4 fleur de pisse, which gives you the 4 pyramids, you see? Because you put it in, you got the 4 pyramids. That's what that is, look, see? It's the pyramid, it's the, you can't get better than that. And then you got your fish, that's your fish, look, your fish symbolism, I can't remember what it is, something to do with the mitre, you know, but that's what that is, it's pure Masonic. Again, if we look at the windows, look, what are the windows, look? See it, look? 3 and 3, 6, 6, 6. See? 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 6, 6, 6. Nothing Masonic, I'm sure. You know what I mean? I'm imagining that. It's all a conspiracy, my profane friends. It's all a conspiracy. It's all that, you know, all that people ganging up on the Freakmasons. Do you know what I mean? How wonderful it is. You know what I mean? It's crazy, isn't it? How do you get away with it? But that's what you're dealing with, you know. Masonic corruption in every town and city, and everything they're taking, they're putting nothing back into society. They just keep people piss poor. Oh, I like that, mate. Is that all right just to film that? Is that all right? Do you understand that there above the door? Do you understand that?
I think it's part of the air conditioning.
Oh, no, I meant this here, these bars here, mate. You see the square and the compass, look?
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, square and compass, that is, mate. See? That's an X, and that's an X, but they put an aircon on it so we can't read it. It's wonderful, I love it. Thank you. Have a good day, yeah? Thank you, pal. You're well in. I'll call him a pal. If you're most pal, I'm his pal. A pal is a pal. But there you go, you see what I mean? Did you see the square and compass against the, on top of the door? Because it denotes, again, that they own it. And they own all the pubs, they own all the clubs. We own nothing, you know what I mean? And we never will. Here's a Masonic church, look, how interesting. See the Masonic cubes, look? Oh, baby, you see the cross in the window as well, but that's got nothing to do with anything, I'm sure. St Andrew's Feast, Community Cafe. Oh yeah, baby. Shh. There's nothing Masonic about this. Let's have a look at this church. Yeah, I don't think there's anything Masonic about it. You know what I mean? Faith and hope and charity. Pure Masonic words indeed. You know what I mean? Oh, baby. But that's what it's all about. They own it all, man. We own nothing, we don't. We own nothing. See? Even here, look, it tells me it's Masonic. It's the fleur de pisse, yeah, that's what it represents. But each column, look, has 3, look, you see it? 3 stripes. 3 stripes. 33 degree. 33 degree. See, it's 3s, you see? 3 and 3. 3 and 3. But what we're really talking about is 3 here. We've got 3 stripes there, so that's 6, 6, 6, 6. And remember, the 4th one is a 9. Represents their Masonic 9. And then above each door here, again, look, why is it 3 here and 3 here for 33 degrees? Or is it just a total number of 6? And again, we go to the windows where they're 3, look, we've got the 3 points. We know the three circles, but it's actually 4. You know, we can go on and on and on, but hey, have a great day. You know what I mean? I bet you them Freakmasons that are watching this, they're watching me, you know. They've been stalking me and perverting my life for centuries and decades. Look, 3 windows, 3 windows, 3 windows, 3 windows. Everything's 3s, 6s and 9s. Even the downstairs ones. Let's not forget the downstairs ones, because then that make the total 6, look. See? Crazy. You know what I mean? Look, see? So 6 windows for 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. 3 on that side and 3 on this side. You see? 6, 6, and then in the middle you get your other 6. You see? Power. Their power knows no bounds of all communities. And I'm now going to show you here, hopefully, some more Masonic symbolism. We'll hopefully change it up. I don't know. We'll see. You know, I can see the pyramid here. Look, that's Masonically owned. Look, let's see if I can zoom into it. Yeah, this will cheer you up. You know what I mean? I'll depress the Freakmasons though. They hate it, don't they? I mean, even these, look, you know, I mean, what? Look, 3 squares. They know make a circle. They know it makes 6, 6, 6. So why 3? Why not 2? Why not 4? Because 3 is their number. This Masonic, look, right there. Look, there's your Masonic going on top of it, and then you've got your Omega sign, yeah. I ain't got to explain, you know, when you're looking from above, yeah, this gold point here and these 4 on each corner make the 5 points, which is 2, 3, 2, the Masonic cube, yeah, that's what that is. But what is it actually standing on? Look at it. What is it? Circle. That's the point within the circle, within the circle, within the circle. It's compass, and it sits within a square. Look, it's a square. It sits within the square. You know what I mean? Look, it's a square within the circle, and each one of these, when you line them up and mark them up, that's your 4 pyramids. You see? So what I mean, you go from here to there. You know, you remember your Darren Brown, you've got to put them in, you see, and then you get your 4 pyramids. These are your capstones. These little pyramids will be your capstones. So it's 4 pyramids on each side. You've got the square. Do you see what I mean? And you've got your circles. Madness. See? And there's the heraldry of the people that run. Is this a graveyard or a park? I don't know. They run all the parks, they run all the graveyards anyway. I mean, look, see the square, look? It's on the square, look, you can see it, look? The square. It's on the square, within the square. You know, but I want to show you this up here, just in case I forget. Look at this, it's amazing. See it there, look, on top of here. You can see the pyramid, yeah? You see the pyramid? I can't hardly see it myself, but there's one on each side, look, and you've got the fleur de pis. But look at the rails above, look. You see the pyramid? You can see the square and compass. You see the circles within the square. You see the fleur de pisses. See, 3 circles make a square. Square and compass, 666, you see? And that's what that is. They mark their territory. You got the world domination ball here, look, with an obelisk, with the world domination ball on top. See? It's all Masonic, my profane friends. They don't care about you, and they never will. Ever will they care about you. You know what I mean? You're too profane. You know what I mean? What is this place? Is this a park? Is this a... Excuse me, kind lady, is this a park? Is that a park?
Yeah. Yes, it's the Alexander Park.
Oh, Alexander. Oh, what, like, what was that who did all that fighting? And he won all them wars? Alexander the Great, no?
Of course.
Nothing to do with Alexander?
Nothing to do with school.
Ah, right. I was going to say, it's a bit dodgy, but there's the heraldry, look. Oh, if I can scroll out or zoom in or something, let me zoom out. See, that's who runs it, look. The bishop. Let Glasgow flourish under the dominance of Masonic symbolism. The heraldry, see? Alexandra Park, see? But I don't know what's in here. That'll be full of symbolism. I don't even know if I'll attempt to go in there, really. That's just full of symbolism anyway. I find more interesting, you know, going up the shops and that. Oh, there's a cathedral up ahead, we'll go there. You know what I mean? We've got a cathedral. I'll find out if it's open. If it is, we'll get in the cathedral. They're more interesting because they explain a lot more of the past. You know, look at that pyramid on that building, look. Nothing Masonic, you know what I mean? But they learn, it's even got the capstone on it. There's nothing Masonic, you know. Just keep it quiet. Shh. And again, you can see it's all 323, look, and 666, look. See what I mean? It's all the same, no matter where it is, look. See it, look? 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, because it makes a square and the compass. See? Wonderful, isn't it? You know what I mean? Let's see if this cathedral's open anyway. You know me, I don't like to brag. How far is the cathedral, sir? How far is the cathedral? Cathedral? Oh, you didn't know? Okay, that's alright, thank you. Yeah, man. Let's have a look. You know what I mean? Alexandra Parade. I wonder if it's Alex. See, again, you ask people, they go, I ain't got a clue, I don't know. Which Alexander is it? You know what I mean? Let's ask this dude, he might know. Excuse me, kind man. Alexandra, what Alexandra is it? Alexandra the Great or?
Yeah, that's just parade.
Oh, just a parade. But I mean, in art, like the park's Alexandra, they ain't marked by someone called Alexandra, no?
I don't know, man.
No, that's okay, yeah, that's right. See, no one knows their history, you know what I mean? And this is the trouble, we all need to educate ourselves on that history. Who is your dad? And who was your dad before that? And were they in control of the council? Were they in control of the pulpits? Were they the bishops? You know what I mean? All of that. Because they're all still in control. They're all still about. They ain't gone nowhere. Here we are, look, with a different gang. Let's have a look at this one. The markings on this one. I know it's Masonic, because straight away, look. And these represent swords, by the way. Look, it's the original, they're swords, look. Oh, let me scroll out. Look, they're swords, yeah? They're swords, look. They're swords. That's what they are. Yeah, that's what they are. They're swords, but they also represents the fleur de pis. See, fleur de pis. But that's what they are. They're swords, yeah. And then, just to reinforce the weaponry of Freakmasonry, you've got the axe. See it? But if you're clever enough and you know Freakmasonry, you'll know that's square and calm pis. Look, you see it? Hidden in plain right. And then we've got the Omega sign. And then what we got there, I don't know what that represents. What is that? Is that a world domination ball? And that was built in 1874. And I bet you any money on your life, well, it'll be on my life as well, I suppose, that the Freakmasons still own this building. They're still raking the money in from the profane that lives there. Now, here, look, again, we've got different gang signs from Freakmasonry. I know that's the sun hieroglyph for the Ra, God, R-A, Royal Arch. Again, we're still in 3, 2, 3 windows, yeah? You know what I mean? See, still the same, nothing's changed, you know what I mean? Even, oh baby, I love it, it's the greatest. We scroll out. Well, it's just different gang members that own this now, you see? You've got the keystone, different gang signs to this block. They own the block. You don't, you never will. And everything they're taking from this place, of course. You know, look, if this is the original gate, look, you can see it there, look, the circles. What do you think them circles are, look? See? The circles tell me it's Masonically owned by Freakmasons. I mean, look up here, look. What's that there? What is that on that building? I don't know. What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that for? Is that the... Oh, I know. That pyramid with a world domination ball. That's so if it gets struck by lightning, it travels the lightning through the building and make it safe. Again, buildings, look. 3 windows, 2 windows, 3 windows. Oh baby, never ends, does it? You know what I mean? Same as there, look, 3 windows, 2 windows, 3 windows, more gang signs. Oh, it's so lovely, you know. Even on top of this one here, look, again, see the Omega sign, look. So there's another gang sign that owns this block, you know. And they've even been so kind when they built a new building. Where is it? Can you see it, my profane friends? Look, that pyramid. Look, you see the... I don't know if you can see it, but the sun's in my eyes. Can you see that diamond right in the middle of there? The all-seeing eye. See how kind they are to put that in there? But that also represents a square and a compass, of course. But how kind of them to put that in there. See how they mark the territory? See? And it goes on and on and on. And all the rent, all this real estate, everything you see down here is all owned by Freakmasons. Now, do you really believe, yeah, after you know how much a quid does and a tenner in the lottery, and all the rent money here, all that water rates and all that electricity and everything they keep charging separately for people, do you honestly believe, yeah, they put something back into this community? They can't even cut the bushes, you know what I mean? You know, and that's what it's all about. You know, craziness, absolute craziness. The gang signs know no bounds, I'm telling you that for nothing. I don't know what sort of Masonic gang is around here, whether they're Royal Arch, Demole, Knights Templars, you know. Again, we're on another building here. Again, different gang signs, I'll show you. Again, owned by some other Masonic family that has been promised land titles. But can you see it? Look, my profane friends, look. See them circles within the pyramid, within the square, look. See? See it? And how many times is it, look? It's 1, 2, 3. See? 3? How strange, it's 3. And each window is 2, 4, 6. See what I mean? 2, 4, 6, 2. Oh, that one's changed in the middle. Ho ho ho, baby. But what that actually does, where they put the window in, if it is, that's 3, look, but it's still 2 3 2. You know what I mean? But it's 6 6 6 anyway, regardless of anything. And it goes on and on and on, my profane friends. Nothing changes. Look, all the windows down there. Look, you see the windows. Look. See it? Look. 3 and 3, 3 and 3, 3 and 3. 6 6 6. 3 6 9. Oh Christ! Oh, it's all right. Seagull now got flattened by a car. Luckily, the car stopped and let it give it a bit of grace and it escaped. Now, I've just shown you the gang signs on that block. This side is now changed again. Yeah, we've got another gang sign. Look, this one's completely different. These are little shields. Look, within the square. Look, where is it? Where am I? There. Look. See, look, little shields. See it? Look. Different little gang signs, you see, and again, it's, if I scroll out, look, it's 1 2 3 times, you see. More gang signs, even the window on the door, look, is 6. How wonderful. But they own it, you know. Look, it's what tells me they own it. Look, because of that little pyramid on the end of the shop. Look, see, Masonically owned. And if you notice, this one is a little, I don't know if it's like a little, again, Amiga sign, I don't know, another rank to their shop, to their system that you don't understand, that I don't understand, you know. And they'll never tell us because it's all a secret by the Masonic Lodge. And they walk around proud as punch that they know the secrets and the language and the titles that they're entitled to, you know what I mean? Because they beat everyone up with their Masonic gangs. Now I've come to here, right, and I'm going to show you something. It's amazing. I can't believe it. Freaking hell, it's just like crazy. Look at this, right? Now I'm going to show you that, right? We know what that is. We know it's an all-seeing eye within the pyramid, okay? And then you got your little world domination ball in the back there, yeah, which is the point within the square if you go on top, and you got one here as well, yeah. But look at this from the side. It's just madness. Again, look, the windows are 3, yeah. 3, look, and the windows are 6, look, 6 6 6, okay. But look at this on the side here. I'm telling you now, my profane friends, I'm telling you now. Watch this. Look at this. This is madness. That's crazy. Now, if this ain't Masonic symbolism of who runs this, look, and it's it would be a bloody skill, wouldn't it? Christ almighty. Look, kids are in there running around. But look at this, look, the kids have no clue, the parents have no clue, look, right? There's your pyramid. But look at this, look, are you ready? You got the circle for the sun hieroglyph, look, that's a sun hieroglyph. Now look at the windows, look. You see the square? And then what you got up there, look. What on earth could them circles mean within you see? And of course, remember, when there's 4 circles, 3 circles make a square, yeah? Remember that. Yeah, but remember, you got the 4 pyramids as well, look, on each corner. It's 4 square. But remember, the 4th one is the 9, yeah? Which is their Masonic 9, and then when you get to the top, you've got the pyramid. Again, with their Masonic all-seeing eye, or whatever the hell it is there, I can't really see. But there you go. And then the windows, look, you see it, look? The windows, 6 windows, 6 windows, 6 windows, 3 levels, of course. 6 windows, 6 windows, 6 windows, 6 windows. Oh, 2 at the bottom. I got it wrong. How interesting. But it all means something anyway, I don't know. But there you go. If that doesn't tell you, with the Jackin and Boaz, look. So they run all the education system. That's why the kids are being dumbed down. You know, look at them 4 circles, look. Know what I mean? And you think that's not Masonic? Good luck, mate. Good luck. You know what I mean? Good luck. It's all Masonic. Look, even to the rails, look, it's all the original. Look, on the rails, look at this, look, you see? Look. You see the circle, look, within the, look, you see the circle? See, the hieroglyph of the all-seeing eye. And then you've got your obelisk, which is the point within the square. You've got the world domination ball, look, see? See what I mean? They run it, you know. None of them, the parents that are bringing these kids to the school, all of these are the square, look, they're on the square, see? They're on the square. And these are all obelisks, look. They're all obelisks, all of these. They've all got little pyramids on the top, all little pyramids. They're all little obelisks, look. And the people, you know, the people, that's the infants' doorway, look. The infants, they've been running this school for centuries, look. How worn that out is, look. Look how worn out that is. You know what I mean? Dumbing your kids down constantly. It's just madness. You know what I mean? Look, you've got the hieroglyph of the all-seeing eye, look. See? It's the original fencing. So you imagine what damage they've been doing for the last, say, 50 years of this school. Do you know what I mean? School Board of Glasgow. Alexandra Parade Public School. Mad. And again, look, they've done it again, look, they've done it again. Look, they've put the 3 dots on the, whatever that seat is, that, I don't, what is that? I don't know. I don't know, but anyway, look, you see the 3 points, look, on that sign. I don't know if you, wait a minute, I can't really stroke. Can you see the 3 dots, look, one above, one below, and one in the east, look, you see? See it, look? It's the 3 dots again. See, and again, oh, they keep doing it, look. You see the single dot, look, that all represents something. I don't know what it means, look, but look, you see the dot here, yeah, right? And then you got 1 dot between the board, okay? And then, I can't see another one, but there you've got 2, look, yeah? See the 2 dots, look? And then you've got 1 dot on the end, look. What that means or represents, and then below, look, you've got the 4 dots, look. See the 4 dots, look? And then you've got 4 dots on this side, look. What that means, because it's like Braille with Freakmasons, yeah? You know what I mean? So you can't figure it out, and they know it, you know what I mean? But this all means something, you know, these circles, look, they're all the hieroglyph of the all-seeing eye. But that all denotes something to you know, to them, not to us. We don't understand it because we don't learn it. We don't get their education. They're on a completely different education to us, the Freakmasons, yeah? And then I suppose we're going into more peasantry, you know what I mean? Or should I say profane land with the old pyramids and that. But look, you got the little pyramids here, look. See, who do you think owned this? It's more likely the schoolmaster's house, you know. But that's what it all is, you know. It's crazy. Oh, what's, excuse me. Do you know what these, you see these circles within the, like these squares, them circles, what do they mean, do you know? Nothing?
It's 4 different houses or school.
Yeah? You don't know, no?
No,
alright, thank you.
The school's got like square house, circle house, triangle house, and...
Where? What, in here?
In here.
See, so in there they've got what? Say it again. A
They've
square house.
An orange. No, not.
No, go
like
yeah.
Circle, square.
Circle, square.
Triangle.
Triangle.
What's that shape? Rectangle.
Rectangle. But you mean that shape there? You see the white shape on there? You mean that shape? Yeah. That one
There's
there.
different houses and they're different shapes.
Different shapes. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I get that. Triangle, circle, and square, and that sort of pentagram one there. Yeah. Oh, I get it now. Okay, that's perfect. You're best. Now that's just amazing. That's just opened up a new. See what I'm saying? Look. So I get that right now. Look, that's the shape he's on about. What is that? We all know what that is. It's 232. Yeah, the Masonic perfect cube. Yeah, it's the. Well, you'll have to look at my Masonic police symbols, but it's got 6 sides. It's got 6 points. And 6 pyramids. You know what it is. You all know what it is. You only got to put a pyramid down and a pyramid up. But in there they've got circle house, pyramid house, or is it diamond? They go diamond, don't they, and square. But that's what that is. You see what I mean? Squares, circles, and diamonds. You see what I mean? And that's the school system in there. Do you know what I mean? If I could get, I'd go in there and question it very sharply if I was a mum. You know what I mean? Madness. But there you go. See, they just told you from there. That's not from me. I don't know. See what I mean? All my information comes from other people, not from here. Do you know what I mean? Excuse me, kind lady. Did you used to go to this school? Oh, you didn't? No? Oh, okay. I'm just checking. Because they get in there, they do diamond, square, and pyramid in there, don't they, or something, you know?
What's that?
Like, I know, different classes, you know, and all that. They different rankings of Freemason. Okay. And then what we come to here, look, again, I can see the symbolism. It's all 3, 2, 3, you know, but we won't get into that because I ain't got a clue what these mean. I mean, what do they mean? I don't know. When you enter this estate, look. See, it's 4 columns with world domination balls on them. But I don't know what them balls are. Yeah, not a clue. Yeah, and with the fleur de piss on the gate, look. See it, look. with the Knights Templar cross. I don't know, I don't understand it, but that's what that is. Look, the different classes of this school, yeah. And again, it's, you know, you got your circles on your windows, look, and your pyramids. They're not stupid, these teachers. You know what I mean? They know exactly what they're doing. There's girls on the other side, and it's boys this side. By the look of things, look, where is it? Boys, yeah, boys on this side. But they've been controlling this school for fucking decades and centuries. You know what I mean? They know exactly what they're doing. That's why you got the Jachin and Boaz here at the pyramids. Yeah, they're just missing the capstone, or they're missing the big circle on it. It used to be a big circle. You know what I mean? Anyway, my profane friends, you know, even the entrance to that has got the pyramid. Look, they can't help themselves. Look, see, world domination ball, the pyramids. It's fucking madness, mate. You know what I mean? Absolute madness. Right, let me cross over. Excuse me, kind man, did you used to go to this school years ago? Did you ever go to this school?
No, my daughter went to that school.
Oh yeah, so the class rankings they got in there, they got the square,
Yeah.
the pyramid, is that right, or the triangle?
I'll be honest with you, sir, I used
Oh,
to
you don't
pick up,
know?
I don't know, my daughter's 20, she's 26.
Oh right,
That's her there when she was at school, that school.
yeah,
That's her there, that's me, you know, and that's,
Oh, you look.
yeah. Do you know what this is?
No, no clue.
Park Circus,
Okay, yeah,
register
yeah.
office. Do you get married?
Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
son was getting married at the time. This is my daughter.
Oh,
and
lovely.
she went to that school.
Yeah,
Now she's 26. And I need to tell you this.
Yeah.
There's two girls she used to hang around in that school.
yeah.
Do you know they're still together? Still friends.
Really?
All the years that they've been at that school.
Wow.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
Unbelievable.
good. Yeah, that's
She
good.
went to that school when she was a wee girl, and then from there to Whitehall Secondary School, which
Yeah.
is down there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's been there a while, that school, yeah.
It's just that, you know, I noticed that, oh, there's a lady come out there, I might ask
She
her,
might-
she'll tell me.
She'll
Yeah,
be able
yeah.
to help you. Maybe.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
sir.
Yeah, that's all right, sir. Thank you. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, she know better. Excuse me, kind lady. Are you a teacher in there, are you? Oh, I'm interested in symbolism. Do you know about the class system, like their square, triangle, and circular? Is that right? No. Their classes or something? No. That's what they said. You know, there's a couple of lads out there. They said it was. It's like to do with. And I'd just like what it confirmed, but no.
No, sorry.
What are you, the PE teacher then?
No, I'm in the kitchen and cleaning, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't
Okay,
help
that's all right. Yeah, you're all right, kind lady. You're the best. Oh, you're all right. Take it easy. So there you go. She doesn't know she's a cleaner. Oh, there's a teacher there. I wonder if I could grab her. Well, I could call her. You know what I mean? I'll ask her. Excuse me, kind lady. Excuse me. Is your class system sort of like circular, square, and triangle?
Not a clue, sorry.
That isn't.
Don't think so. What's
Oh, there's just some youngsters out there, and I just asked them what the wait there. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, she's a youngster. You know, I just asked them what the circles meant on them square boxes. You see, like in the fence.
Yeah.
And they said like there's a system in here where the classes are based on like, you know, circular class or
Yeah, no, I don't think so, no.
not anymore. No.
No.
No. Okay, that's fine then. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. But again, you know, you can't just trust it as face value because they're taught to learn to lie, you know, and I don't trust it. You know, again, like I said, I don't trust any of them because they all work in the system. You know what I mean? Because I just don't understand it. You know what I mean? How, you know, once you you know, like in my community, the way they've you know, like, how can I explain it? It's like, it's just so weird. You know, the way they gang up or get together, yeah, and to like manipulate you, you know, around you, the things to make people think about you, or, you know, or like, you know, when they gang stalk you, you know, and there's a group of them around you and that, you know, like really perverted in your life. And I've seen it in the hospitals. I've seen it, you know, in my own hospitals, the JPH, you know, and the way they've manipulated certain situations, you know, with doctors, with nurses, within garages and things like that, and people I've had contact with in my own town and city. And when you understand that, that's like, wow, you know what I mean? So I know that when I ask a teacher something, or I ask a social worker or a policeman, I know they're working for them. Do you know what I mean? There's no two ways about it. I don't care who you are, what you are, you ain't convinced me enough, because I fucking know. Do you know what I mean? That's the difference, yeah? And I see the policemen standing toe to toe with them. I see the social services stand, and they're standing there with career criminals, do you know what I mean, that are selling drugs, and they're not saying a fucking word about it. You know what I mean? But like I said, it goes higher than that. They're our community leaders, yeah? And they're all working that same system just to keep themselves in power, yeah? And they're all on that funny handshake, you know, and when they see you, they go, there's one there, get him. And then they isolate you, you know, from the rest of the population. Yeah, absolute crazy the way they get away with all their fucking harassment. But again, you know, it's always prove it, you know, what evidence you got? I don't know, we'll find out in the end, won't we? You know what I mean? What evidence I've got, because I can use tape recorders, I can use hidden cameras, I can use everything you've done and use against you as you've done against me. And the thing is, when I do it, they're all going to be complaining and crying about it, because it's all about reputation, you see. Their reputation, because once you bust a reputation, that's what they do to people, they bust people's reputations, and they've got the power and the men and the enforcement to actually slate you off for any opportunity they can to anyone, so they avoid you, you know. But anyway, that's another story, my profane friends. But this is Glasgow. I've shown you many gang, you know, the operation of the Freakmasons, you know, all the rent they're pulling in, the water, the electric, every time, everyone's paying that over and over again. Do you know what I mean? All the time. And they're just pulling that wealth in, sucking everything up from the communities and putting fuck all back in. You know what I mean? And they own it all. So what are they actually spending the money on? Do you know what I mean? Because it's not for the betterment of the profane person who's the working class on the street. You know what I mean? No way. They're pulling up so much money, it's unreal in Masonic lodges. And that's the thing, all the Masonic lodges getting all the money just for the lease of these shops. It's all they'll tell you it's Mr. Smith, don't be stupid. That's Mr. Jones or whoever. You know what I mean? But he's also a member of the Masonic Lodge, and he's paying his dues to that lodge because he's got the entitlement to run this place. Do you know what I mean? Or run that place. And it's all run and owned by the Lords, the Dukes, the Earls. Do you know what I mean? Nothing's changed. It never has done, and never fucking will do. You know what I mean? And that's how it'll roll forever until we oust them out of power. You know? And we'll never oust them out of power. I'm telling you now, ever. And beware the Greeks as well. You know what I mean? Never trust them Greeks. They've been following me as well. Watch them in your town. See, look, well, that's Masonic flooring right there within the circle that you see. I love it. The Greek EE33. I don't trust it at all. None of it. You know what I mean? I don't care who they are, what they are, but the symbolism's there. Look in the chairs. See, there's your square and calm piss. You know what I mean? Remember, it's all hidden in plain right, who runs what. And these are all owned by the Freakmasons, the lease and that, and who's ever getting deemed fit, you've got to be in with it, do you know what I mean? Or you ain't getting nowhere, you know what I mean? Or do you think all these people that are running these shops have worked in a factory or a fucking stacking shelves and got their money from nowhere? No. It's all funny handshakes and all of that, and it's not what you know, it's who you know and who you're privileged to know within that Masonic lodge. And the higher you go up into the Masonic lodge, you then start dealing with the Lords, the Dukes and the Earls, you know what I mean? Anyway, my profane friends, I mean that one there, look, that's another gang sign, look. See, can you see it? Look, who's that? Who is that? Is that the phoenix rising out of the crown? And that's been going since 1891, look. All the rent that's been given on this fucking building, let alone how much has that gone back into the community to build, you know, things for the kids to play on, you know, more community centres. In fact, they should all be free, really. All leisure centres should be free. They're all built by the council, but they'll charge you X amount to join that you can't afford to, you know, because you've got to pay your own rent and all that. No leisure centre, every leisure centre should be free. there's enough money to go around, because like I said, them pounds, they're the ones that collect and amass the money, yeah, and they do it, you know, like 500 men in a lodge, they all put 10 grand in, yeah. Imagine the money they just raised there, like that, with 500 members in a Masonic lodge. They'll tell you, oh, we're poor, we got nothing, we don't own nothing, we got nothing, we ain't got this, we ain't got that. But if you do the research and see, you know, who owns what within your own towns and cities, the land around and all of that bollocks, yeah, you'll be quite surprised who they are, you know what I mean? And like I said, you'll see the corruption flowing and oozing out of these people. Anyway, have a good day, my profane friends. I'll come and, if there's anything else of interest, I'll let you know.